welcome back to Studioloo. So I'm here today with my weekly kind of wrap-up video. This week has been interesting, and here I am with my single sad, like, only finished thing that kind of is a cheat because it's kind of from the week before, but not really, because I sort of finished it on Sunday. It was the last part of that challenge that I shared with you last week from Story Camp Disco, their spring art challenge, the 7 days of art prompts. So the final day was this a zine, a little map fold style zine. And I mean, these are so fun because actually I never thought about them in context to journals. Like, I remember years ago, like a decade ago or something, I'm dating myself at this point, I got really into, like, you know, like making zines and like trading little zines and stuff. I did a little bit of that back in the day when I like wrote on like diaryland.com. This was before social media. So anyhow, this is the little spring zine that I made, and I called it Excited for Spring. So I just inked, I just pen and inked all the illustrations and just doodled them myself. So excited for garden food, new growth, sprouts, foraging, sunshine days and soft rain, spring. So yeah, these are all watercolored in. So the cool thing with a map fold is basically it's like a very quick and easy way, there you go, to make a zine, a little booklet. So basically you're gonna fold your page in half this way and then this way, and then you're going to open it again and you fold in these two pieces, and then you're going to make a cut from the middle section to the middle section on the long end here. So see that? Then fold it back in half like this, and then you basically just kind of press and you create this kind of a situation, this almost like an X or a star. And then this brings us together. Then you just fold your pages like this and you end up with a little booklet. So it's a lot of fun. It's a very simple and very classic way to make a little zine. You can do it with larger paper too. You just want to make sure you have a rectangle. You don't want a square for this. You get a little square booklet. But yeah, it's really cute. So that's my only finish. So why am I even here with a wrap-up video? Well, because I still want to wrap up my week. So the weather most of the week was amazing. It has now gotten a little cooler and a little rainy, which is expected for spring. So we've been going out a whole lot, doing all sorts of fun things. Today I was working on framing I got a beautiful print from Mab Graves. Maybe I'll take a picture of it and I'll pop it in this video so that you can see it. I love it so much. And I got a really cool frame at our thrift store for that. So that actually brings me to the next part of this wrap-up video. I'm going to talk about a few other things that I did first, and then I'm going to do just like some shares with you, which is actually a really cool thrift haul and a little bit of thrift store frustration because, you know, what would the weekend be without having something to complain about, right? It's not a huge complaint, but it's a little one. Anyways, let's get into the Flosstube section of this video. Here we go. I haven't done a lot. I've done a little though. So I'm still working on the stitch wheel. I got a few stitches done this week. I work on this really early in the morning while my daughter has woken up with me but kind of conks out on the couch again, and I have a little bit of free time and my son is still asleep, so that's when I work on this. So I think this week I finished everything in this row except for this one and this one. So the roses are new, the velvet stitch is new, this I think is satin stitch, this is another kind of couching I forget the name of. This is seeding, I think. I can't remember. Maybe that's the satin stitch. I don't know. No, this is long and short stitch. And then this one is burden stitch, and super forget the name, but absolutely love this and have been using it ever since I learned it. So I've been using a lot of that. So yeah, this is coming along fun. I like it. I like working on it in the way that I have been. I also still have not found my other scissors that went missing last week, and I'm still freaking out about where they could be. So I have to keep looking for them so that nobody but me finds them. But I did, this was one of my thrifting finds yesterday, that I actually bought 2 pairs of scissors, but I already threw this one in this bag because it needs scissors. I might also sew a bag that is large enough to hold this. I might work on that today because I'd like to do some sewing today. I have like a tunic for myself. I've got the paper pattern cut out. I just need to cut the fabric, and it's like supposed to be a very easy breezy pattern with like essentially just sewing the top, like the 2 parts of the top, like where your head would be right here. You're going to stitch the top shoulders and then under the arm and down the sides, and then do your hemming, and that's it. So we'll see how that goes if I end up having to still do some shaping. Hopefully not. Yeah, so we have scissors in this bag again, and yeah, I really think I probably should just stitch myself a bag or several bags for these 10-12 inch hoops, because it's a lot to have it open. So that's that one. It doesn't want to sit here. There we go. Okay, then next thing I've been working on, so I've added the greens. I dug out a bunch of, this is my freeform kind of, this is the other thing I stitch in my spare time when I have kind of like, I don't know, I have responsibilities at hand, but not really. So don't freak out. I know it's scary seeing like my work under the hoop here, but it's fine. I do this thing all the time. I always, like, I have all these hoops, I have Q-snap frames, I have all this stuff, but sometimes honestly these little lap projects, these freeform projects, I just like a little tiny loop I can sit with in my lap, and if something happens, like a kid is crying or whatever, I can just flop it down, nothing will come of it, it's fine. So what I did this week is all of this green. I don't think I worked, maybe I did a little bit of yellow, but this is just literally freeform playing around with stitches, and that's what I've been doing. I did a little, this is the woven rose that I learned from the stitch wheel, and then this is another one that I learned from the stitch wheel, and I love this so much because it's very oceanic. It's like very like an anemone or a starfish or a coral, like it's got those kind of shapes to it, so I can see myself doing a ton of those. I really like doing them. I'm doing a few variations of them with French knots in the middle, but yeah, that is coming along fun. I really am happy with how this is looking on the gray. Gray and rainbow is one of my very favorite kind of things, and I think this might eventually become a journal cover. I'm not sure. I think if that's the case, I shouldn't go, like, I shouldn't do a whole ton more to it. I should continue with the color wheel, but like, yeah, if I were going to sell this journal, I think about all the time spent on this work, and then it's really hard to like sell because people have a hard time paying the price that truly handmade things actually do command, because you know, it's hours of someone's time. So please know that if you're buying something handmade and you're questioning why it costs what it does, a lot of the time it's because, well, I mean, all the time, it's because it's handmade, and hours of someone's life were invested in that. Imagine if you were working a, you know, a corporate job and you were spending like, you know, weeks working on something, weeks and man hours. Like, would you expect $50 for that, or would you expect a lot more? And unfortunately for artists, we have to severely undercut our paid time because like no one could afford a $3,000 journal, right? So, you know, where you would probably make that much money with a good salary working in the same amount of time, you know, you do take into account things like, this is a hobby, this is in my casual time. I think most people do take that into account, but I do see a lot of people who just think like in this weird kind of Walmart, Amazon, AliExpress mindset of like, this should cost nothing and it should ship yesterday. And that's just not the reality for the real world. We've become very accustomed to this modified way of work that actually isn't so good for the people who do it. So remember that when you're pricing things that you make, as well as when you're buying things that are handmade. So yesterday Anne Brooke released week 13, and it is layers, or golden layers as she used. So I've gotten a start. I'm not done. I've just gotten a start. I've stitched down like onto the paper. I love this. It's very much like paper piecing. I really like doing this. And I don't even have to be neat about it, like on the back, which is great. I can just kind of be a little bit messy. I'm not that messy. So yeah, this is my first layers, a few little layers. I'm not done. I have a lot more to do. But yeah, I actually got this amazing gold backing from the thrift store this weekend. I'll show you the big piece that I got. So I've been working away on that. It's not done yet. I will post it on Instagram once it's finished. Then the other thing, let me just pick these up here. The other thing that I've been working on, I'll just show you a few of the ones that I didn't already cover in my video about them, but I filmed a video yesterday about making specimen tags. So I got some resin flowers from AliExpress that I can't find them anywhere locally. I saw them on someone's Instagram, and I was like, oh, those are so cool because they're resin flowers. They've been resined, and so like they have more durability, like, and also they keep really nice colors. You can get this from using like a press or a microfleur for drying flowers. Sorry for the glare. Let me just hold this in a way that it's not going to glare and you can see it. So this is the resin flower. So I made these specimen cards, and I put the flowers in there, and I love them. I think that they're going to be really great for journaling. I made a few more than just these ones. I also really like whatever this spiky green kind of plant is. It's really cool. But I gave the warning in the video where I made these, and I'll say it again. Make sure you keep these in the house contained, because they're plants from another country, unless you live in China, where they do originate from, where I don't know where they originally came from, but they were shipped from China. You know, and always think about your native plant species whenever you have anything like this. Most of these flowers, these are the kind of plants, some of them are even weeds, that they actually propagate through the cast off of their flower. That's where their seeds are. So just like a dandelion, right? So just make sure that you don't take these outside. Don't work outside with them. Don't let them be outside, because you could actually end up planting these plants that you don't necessarily want in your garden or in your neighborhood. So that's that. Then I'll show you a little bit of the Poison Garden journals. So I did do one video this week on these, making ephemera for them, and they're coming along. So I've got a few of the pockets in. Here's another one of those. That's another one that I did of the specimen cards. This is like a card shaped one. It's got these cute blue flowers and some fun little stickers, and that'll just pop right in there. So I've got a few pockets and things put in. I have a lot more to go on these, obviously, but there's another one. I did add a few of those into these journals because I think with the plants they're like really appropriate. So yeah, just kind of a quick. Got a few things going on, still lots more to go. Yeah, so that's that one, and then this one, again, another one of those tags. And I also used one of my little labels that I made from one of my mask making March videos. I need to make more of those because I've used like half of them already. Yeah, a little bit of pockets here and there and things. Few things done, but lots more to go in these journals, but they're coming along. So I might make another video this week working on these, or working on the ephemera for them. Then I'm working on a secret project. Here it is real quick, and now it's gone. So I can't show it to you till April. Then, you know what, I think I'll show you my thrift haul now. I think we've reached that stage. So the first thing is kind of funny. And I'm actually just going to pause. I'm going to move you, unzoom for a second, okay? Hold on. So we're back, and this is the beginning of the thrift haul. I'm sorry for the glare. I know it's bad right now. I still don't have my lighting set up. I know, I'm terrible. I have to get it done. I will. But anyways, I had to get a couple of frames from the thrift store because, hold on. I don't want this glare. There, let's just do that. Because I have a beautiful Mab Graves print that I bought that I wanted to frame, and I really wanted a pink frame, because like something that was kind of like a weathered pink, because the piece has a lot of like pink in it, and I really wanted one, but I thought I found one actually, but I wasn't sure if it would fit. Then I saw this frame and I was like, well, I know for a fact that will fit, and gold would also be really nice. Also, I really, sorry for the glare, love this watercolor painting that's in here. It says M Green. And so, yeah, I was like, oh, that's really pretty. Anyways, I could use that in journaling. I could put that in as a cover or as a page. It's really pretty. But then there's something under it, and now I really want to know what's under it. So let's just figure it out. Let's just reveal that. Because it's just staples. We can pry those pretty easily with just a pair of scissors here, I think. I've got other tools, but let's just see how it goes with scissors. These are just staples, so they're not that difficult to pry. I say as I gouge everything. No, that's not that bad. You just got to kind of get your scissor under. Oops. I like to do things on camera that are slightly dangerous and have the potential to turn this video into something entirely different, like an ER trip, whenever possible. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. I enjoy the struggle. Some of this might be a little off camera, and that's okay, because I'm kind of not cutting toward myself mom, but sort of. Right, and I think we'll be fine just prying up 3 sides, because I'm not taking the glass out or anything. I'm just taking the backing out. Okay. Oh, that is actually so pretty. So that's what was underneath. Huh. Strawberry Delight by E. Anderson from 1994 Art Resources International. So it's actually on... it's the cardstock. So, you know, I don't know if like this was, no, it's got a barcode on the back. So I don't think it's like an artist printed like canvas, because this is probably sold at like Winners or, you know, someplace like that. But this, on the other hand, this is a real artist. Well, not a real artist. That's a real artist too, but this is like a local, probably. London, Ontario, Marjorie Greer, Gem Art of London, Fall Bouquet. And she priced this from $50 to $20. So you remember how I was saying? $20. You remember how I was saying, like, artists, we end up getting stuck seriously undervaluing our work? Like, look at that. Could you paint that? Could you do this beautiful, you know, painting? It's really pretty, and someone got it for 20 bucks. Like, it's crazy. And it's a really nice heavy watercolor paper. So I will look her up and then figure out if this should be something that stays in a frame, because it has a lot of value and she became very popular, or if it goes. Now I've got this mat, which is great, and I'll keep that. This is really nice. It would actually be a great journal cover, or something like that, but it is heavy cardstock, so it would have to be a hard cover. And I'm not 100% sure yet, like, if I want to do that with it or not. And in the meantime, I think I'll just put it back in the frame, because then there's something to hold the glass in. You need to make sure you've got like enough thickness of whatever you put into a frame like this, so that the staples bear enough pressure to keep your glass in. I had to zoom you back out again a little bit, even though this is still a little too zoomed in for what I'm showing you. So what this is do you remember those old makeup cases that we were all in love with in like the 80s and 90s? So this is a Sassabee, and I love it because it's like the colors of like the 80s, right? So there was a couple brands of these. There was Sassabee and what's the more popular one? I can't even remember the name right now. Oh goodness. But anyways, so when you open this up, let me try to get this open. Sorry, this tablecloth is getting a little rumpled here. There we go. Let me try to open it without smashing you. Here we go. So these had like a tiered kind of system like this, so you could put all your makeup in here and your brushes and things, and usually they had a mirror here. This one's missing this mirror. So I got this for a couple reasons. Number one, I love them for organizing. Caboodles, that's the name of the other one, Caboodles. So yeah, I got it for that. This needs to get cleaned though. It's going right into the sink after this because it hasn't been cleaned up. And yeah, they're really good little storage cases, and also they look super cute. So there's that. And then I will get started with, I got a little bit of a book haul yesterday. Oh gosh. So I'm trying to put a moratorium on thrifting a little bit, but instead I didn't do that because I had donations to drop off. And so I did get things yesterday, but now I'm setting a limit on what I'm allowed to get. That's very much based on what goes out. So I have to behave, but it's not that bad actually. So yeah, this is from a thrift store near my house that I go to a lot, and it's so perfect for what I'm doing because I'm going to be making a couple of swan journals, like that are swan themed, and you know, it's so interesting. Like I've had that kind of in my journal plan for a while now, and yesterday I found 2 books that will be perfect for vintage like swan journals. So there's first this one, Fairy Tales and Stories by Hans Christian Andersen, who I've told you before, a lot of them are like really not relevant to today's children anymore and actually slightly disturbing. I love the spine of this book. It's really cool. It's like a lamp post with some sculptural like women and a little child reading a big book at the bottom. So it's cute. It was like written, you know, Marilyn Spence in the front of it. So I had a weird experience. I love the front of it too, the book plate. So this one is from, it gives you the age group. Look at the beautiful color plate there. And this amazing book plate. So this is from 1921. Yeah, it's got all sorts of, it's got the wild swans in here, which is what the theme of a couple of journals that I want to make will be, is wild swans. So yeah, my experience at the thrift store kind of frustrated me yesterday. And I mean, I haven't really experienced this, but I have seen a lot of other people experience it. I've seen like a lot of comments on their Facebook page about this weirdness where like they're supposed to be like a weigh and pay, and they have like their mandate is like to be like an environmental kind of place that, you know, they're supposed to be like just collecting things to sell at a price that's affordable to not have it go to landfill. And I realize they're a charity, but like one thing that bothers me is when like you have an expectation that doesn't get met. I think for everybody that's an annoying thing at work. I mean, as long as you don't set your expectations completely out of, you know, like you expect basic rules to be followed, like some level of societal justice. So that's what I found annoying when I went yesterday, because I had also picked up another book that was from 1916. It was an H.G. Wells book. It wasn't particularly special. I forget the name of it. It was something to do with like the war or something. And yeah, I put all my books down, and then the cashier picked up the H.G. Wells one, and she was like leafing through it, which I always find that annoying. Like people who work at cash registers, okay? There's a line. It's a pandemic. I don't need you touching all my stuff, unnecessarily leafing through it, number one, but also like time is of the essence, right? We're not here to like have you look at and make comments about all of our purchases. It's like it impedes your privacy. It's just, I don't know, like it bugs me. Like I love conversation. I love chatting with people. I don't mind casual, like, oh, this is a cute book, or you know, oh, is this for your daughter or what? Fine. But like if you're like, oh, no, 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 and you're like looking through, especially if you're like trying to evaluate if you should charge me more for something, that's very annoying. So the rule they're supposed to have is that books are like $1 each or $2 sometimes. Even that's not properly posted anymore like it used to be. So the book I found, the H.G. Wells book, I found it in a trash can after digging through a whole bunch of books that were in a trash can, because they don't really organize things very well when they're getting so much. I don't blame them for that. That's totally like a part of the process. You're just getting more than you can handle. But like, what's the point of a treasure hunt at a thrift store if when you get to the cash, they say, oh, this is from 1916. We're going to need to go look this up on the internet. And then they refer to like an eBay auction where probably the item hasn't sold and it's been super over evaluated, right? Like it just bugs me. It's so annoying. And I see so many people like complaining about all those things. Like in the store, a lot of people will be like, oh no, I don't want that. As well as like, you know, online on like Facebook, places like that. I'm not that person. I don't leave like comments or rudeness. I just stop shopping there, or I just, you know, abandon things at the cash if I don't want to pay that. Like I did yesterday. I said, I don't have time to wait for you to look up this book. Leave it. It's nothing special. FYI also, there's probably like 50 very old books that are the same age as that one in a trash can by the back door. So that was my only little snarky moment. I felt very annoyed by the whole thing, to be honest. And it takes a lot to get me annoyed. It was just the overall, like you'd have to be there to see just how the attitude, like the weirdness, like being stopped in line. You almost feel like a shoplifter or someone who's cheating the store or something. That's how, like, that's the vibe that store is getting. So I think I need to just take a really big break from there. There are so many great thrift stores, but I have to say I'm very sad because that one, it was special to me because of its environmental purpose. Like, I like that. But sometimes I also question how much that is the drive versus money. And some people take money way more seriously, like as just an employee of a store. They don't like really, I don't know. They don't know how to separate that it's not their money. Anywho's, that's my annoying rant. I also had to abandon 2 plant pots that were from Dollarama. So they would have been $1 each. And when they rang them up, they were $7. And I was like, what is going on? No, I'll leave those. So yeah, be careful when you thrift because you can seriously get, in some ways, like scammed. It's not good. So anyhow, I did find a couple other things there that I didn't pay exorbitant prices for. Flower Fairies, The Meaning of Flowers. So this is a pretty book. It is going to get used in my upcoming fairy journals. So it's got lots of like cute little, the story of flowers kind of, and these little fairies, and very sweet little book. So yeah, please share with me if you've had these kind of weird experiences, because I don't know how to deal with them. I find it like I don't like conflict. I don't like being mean to people or being mean at all, but I don't like having conflict with like people who deal with the public. So I never do. And I also don't leave crappy things like on the internet or anything like that. I don't like call the store and demand to speak to a manager. None of that. I don't want to react at all. I just wish that like people could be decent, you know? It's kind of like annoying. So this book I found, it's not to cut up. I literally just want to read it. I think it's cool. Artist to Artist, 23 major illustrators talk to children about their art. And this was to benefit the Eric Carle Museum of Picture Book Art. So I love Eric Carle, and I thought this was really cute because it's like artists, it has flip outs too, right? Very cool. So it's artists talking to kids about their art. So, yeah, it's got a lot of cool artists in it. Mitsumasa Ano, Quentin Blake, Ashley Bryan, Nancy Uckham Burkert, Eric Carle, Tommy DePaola, Jane Dyer, all these guys, Maurice Sendak. Yeah, so I'm pretty excited to read that. I think it'll be really fun. Then this book I got for kind of a specific reason, and it's trying to add cool things into my journals. And I mean, I can't take credit. I have to attribute it entirely to whoever made this book. The creator of this book, like the person who literally just illustrated it, Susanna Lockhart. So it's got these great like accordions. So I'm going to try to figure out how to maintain these to use them. So like, see, this one's a little wonky, the other ones aren't. I think it's just because it's a bit disconnected here. I want to see if I can maintain these and put them in journals. It's the story of Cinderella. And when you open the flap and you pull, I think you pull, or does it do it on its own? Yeah, so this one is malfunctioning, okay? Not all of them are functioning, but I want to play with them. I also want to see if I can take them apart and learn about how to make them. Also, these are beautiful illustrations, so some of these could end up being used in the book. So this one I know works properly. So here you see when you open the page, it's him running up the stairs to the glass slipper. Oh, sorry, the glare is kind of bad. Let me just angle it down a little. So see, now we're going to close it. And see, now it's the couple, Cinderella and the prince. So those are cool, like accordion style things. So here's another one. He's like, you know, trying the shoe on her foot. And then here is their wedding. So there's lots of cool ones. I won't go through all of them, but I'll just show you the rest. There's also the story of the frog prince in the back. And there's the princess. And there's the frog. So cute. I love these illustrations. But yeah, I want to experiment with that and see what I can learn about it. Move this out of the way. Okay, and then my last book that I got from that store is this one, R.L. Stevenson, A Child's Garden of Verses. I bought this mainly for the cover. I already have other copies of this book. This is another one where like a lot of the stories are like, ooh, like they're a little adult. And then the next books I got from one of my very, very favorite stores, who has predictable pricing, who never surprises you at the checkout. This book, What Will People Say by Rupert Hughes. So it's got some interesting, like it was maybe in touch with some iron oxide in its life. It was next to a red book. This is a really weird kind of patina that can happen to some old books, and I love it so much. I don't know if you can see the embossing on the front of this, but it is beautiful. There's like this kind of leaves and like just a, I don't know how to explain it. Hopefully you can see it on camera. Hopefully it's there, but it's beautiful. This book made me so happy to find. So it was gifted January the 5th, 1920 at 1:30 p.m. Lewiston, don't know. And then it has like some illustrations in it that I haven't even looked at. Let me see, does it have the date here? 1914. And let's see if we can find the illustrations. Here they are. Yeah, so it's a black and white plate. I don't see them. Oops. So yeah, you can see it's kind of falling apart, as would be expected. Oh, there was one. Let's see if we can get a quick look at it. Oops. It's so easy to flip past them because they are like a different paper than the rest. So they just kind of, there we go. Yeah, okay. Anyways, so that book, it's all about the cover. Love it so much. And then this one too is cool. The Broad Highway by Geoffrey Farnell. it also has so much natural, beautiful aging to it, which I'll probably just leave it alone. The whole cover is gorgeous. I'll probably remove this like bit of white, looks like whiteout probably, and then I'll seal it with all this good patina inside. So this book has a color plate as well right here, but it's kind of a, well, it's like a guy pointing a gun at another guy. we don't want that. Nice book plate. 1911 by Little Brown and Company. To Shirley Byron Jevons, the friend of my boyish ambitions, this work is dedicated as a mark of my gratitude, affection, and esteem. I like the text. All of the book plates apparently are men fighting with each other. I don't know. I was kind of wondering like what this book would be about just from the cover itself. Like it was a little, yeah, it's mostly just kind of pictures I wouldn't use. But yeah, it's like, he who mine heart would keep for long shall be a gentleman and strong. So that's kind of cool. Then this book, Kenelm Chillingly. I love the cover and the spine, which might be a little hard to see, but it's really pretty. I love the teal, like dark kind of teal color of this book. Another amazing old book. This is from Rant McNally and Company. And it looks like maybe we don't have the date. Possibly it was on this front torn page. These pages are quite brittle. So it's that cottony old kind of paper. A little bit of pencil scribbling in there going on. Oh, what do we have here? I love these little surprises in here. This is Printed Matter. Lovett Dixon Limited. London. So this came from Europe, I guess. Oh, and it was like a card that you could fill out probably from a bookstore, where it says, keep me informed about like the following types of genres of books. So that's kind of cool. You could like drop that off at the cash or something, and, you know, they might contact you about the kinds of books they were getting. Okay. So that's a cool book. And then this one, just throw my receipt over here. I love this one, Blindfolded, Earl Ashley Walcott, and it's this beautiful, like, colorized image. Let me just tilt it a little like that so you can see, of a woman blindfolding a man who's sitting in a chair with a book in his lap. And again, just a book that has, it's got like some watermarking on it. It's just, it's old and it's dusty. Well, it's not dusty, but it'll be sealed, we'll say that. So, Clarence Hayes, Kennebeek, Ontario. Where is Kennebeek? I've never heard of Kennebeek. And someone wrote their name there, Zelta Gregory. Zelta, what a beautiful name. Amazing. Amazing. I love such interesting names. Blindfolded. Okay, let's see. These are all blank pages. I'm just trying to find the good stuff at the front of the book. This is one page. Yeah, so this is a book plate. Black and white. 1907. Yeah. So that's a nice old book. I'll just do a little flip through because I always do. Just to see if I can see any pictures or if there's anything tucked inside. Yeah, black and white book plates of like men and women. One day we're just going to find money inside one of these books, I think. That's the joke that I always think about. And then this one. This is the Other Swan journal cover. The Trumpeter Swan by Temple Bailey. Look at that gold embossing on this beautiful burgundy cover. Now, the only problem is, see here, the top of this has been chewed. It's been, like, destroyed. So I will repair that. I have many methods to make old books beautiful again, but it's still, you can still see trumpeter swans. So probably I'll be putting in a nice curved cover or spine in here. It will be backed in some kind of amazing like fabric and lace and that kind of thing. So it will be strong and it will be beautiful again. So the trumpeter swan. I don't see a date. Oops, that would be one of my little flyaway hairs here. Nope, I don't see it. Made and printed in Great Britain by Gerald & Sons Limited, Norwich. So this is another book from London. It's got really nice, like, thick pages in it. Yeah. So that's pretty. So that's all the old books. Then I got a copy of this. It was $3, which is fine. It's the Worn Archive. It's basically like a, sorry, I like to take these stickers off as best I can. These ones are really hard to get off, so I'm glad that they weren't on the old books. I don't mind it so much when it's like just a book like this that I'm going to read. I don't like when they put them on the old books though, because that can really damage the old book cloth. I mean, it can damage everything that they stick them to, but anyways, so yeah, this is a really cool book. It's funny, it's like completely separated from its cover. Things are not like they used to be. But like, this is a cool book. It's about the clothing that we wear, and it's got a lot of stories about the fashion industry. For everything from like the politics of it to just quirky people and cool clothes and stuff. So I thought that would be a fun book to read. So I'm definitely going to throw that one in the library to read. Then I have kind of a mishmash of little things I'll show you. Okay, here's the mishmash. So first, I got this. Let me just open it out of its staple. Ugh, I don't like staples. Staples are so annoying and sharp. I always get jabbed by them. So I always just get rid of them as soon as I see them because staples are mean. Okay, so let's just shove this over a little bit. So this is just a cool, like, doily, like a rose kind of swirl doily. And I thought that would be really cool, like on a cover or something. It's really beautiful crochet. So there's 4 pieces of it in the length. And then I found a piece of Aida cloth, and it had a pattern with it that I would never stitch. So I left the pattern there at the thrift store. This was from the Weigh and Pay, so you just grab what you want. You don't need to be like, you don't need to buy the whole thing. So I just took the threads because I liked the colors, and I can always use them pre-bundled like that. And I took the Aida cloth. So it's a nice big piece of Aida cloth, so that'll be like good for our project. I always grab Aida cloth because, like, why not? It's awesome. Then I got this nice big piece of very sparkly fabric. So this is an interesting, very thick fabric. Like the back has like a, honestly, it's like an Aida cloth. It's like a light canvas kind of. And then it's really thick. Like it would be great for a cover, a nice sparkly kind of journal. Or if you wanted to like cut shapes out of it. Like I was thinking about for the swan journals. Like imagine if you did like a printed out swan, and then like you could make the wing in this sparkly color. And then yes, another little pair of scissors I got as well. One pair was $1, these ones, and then because they're Fiskars, and I got the other pair for like 25 cents, so I'm pretty happy to have more little scissors hanging around. Then I found this, which is like a giant piece of like it's probably like 5 or 6 yards of cotton, just plain white cotton for $5, which is amazing. And it's a quality, like it's not muslin, it's like a nice woven cotton. So that will be for eco printing. I'm like hoping to get a bunch of cloth mordanted in the next couple weeks or so, because we're gonna have plants soon and I just want to start eco printing. Then all of these together I think cost me $4, and it's 5 embroidery hoops. I needed a couple more little ones, and I grabbed these nice big ones because they're actually nice wood ones. They're like thick, and they're not like the super cheap ones that can kind of warp. Then I got an entire bag of embroidery floss that was $2, and it has a lot of nice colors in it. And I always grab embroidery floss when I see it. And then it also had these cute little vintage buttons, these steamline buttons, these little hearts with flowers on them. So I thought that was really cute. And then the other thing I got, the last thing I got, and it's funny, I've already used some of it. This is like a large, like, skirt that had been cut from the bodice of a dress, I think, but it's just a huge piece of this gold fabric. And so I actually ended up using some of it yesterday for the Anne Brooke challenge with the 52 tags handmade that I'm working on. So yeah, that is my whole thrift haul, I think. Yep, just looked around me, nothing else, hanging around. So yeah, that's everything. So thanks for being here again. I'll be back with some kind of a creative video soon. Sorry if my hands are slightly purple. That is food dye. We were doing some experimenting and some hair dyeing. So I hope that you enjoyed seeing all these things. Hopefully next week I'll have a little bit more. I had a really busy week this week. Typically in the spring and summer, I get a little bit less creative stuff done because I'm spending so much time outside and, you know, kids and all that kind of stuff. Sorry for my giant thrift store rant, but I think it's important that we all kind of just have these moments of reflection about consumerism. It's like how it should and shouldn't work. I think it's a good thing to think about. So yeah, thank you again for joining me, and I hope you have the loveliest rest of your weekend, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.